Today I'm going to show you how to do a voltage drop test across a battery terminal and across a relay, the two contacts of the relay. And a voltage drop will tell you if there's any resistance in the connection. If there's resistance in the connection, it will cause voltage to be different from one side to the other. And that could mean it's corroded or damaged or whatever. But a circuit, to show up voltage drop, a circuit has to have current flowing through it. So we use the battery tester to create a draw of about 80 amps. And it's only for a very brief time until we get a measurement. Now the first test we're going to do is the battery terminal. So we can put it on the second scale because 80 amps is within the blue scale, the blue numbers. So 80 would be right about there. It's already hooked up. Remember, we must have our inductive pickup over the cable going to the meter. And we've got our voltmeter on, and I've put it on 20, so there's 2 decimal points to get a more accurate reading. And I'll set it on by the radiator. Now, the battery post is the main, or the highest point of voltage in the whole vehicle. The battery post right in the middle. So the red lead would go and be put onto the battery post. Here you can see the red lead to the very middle of the post of the battery. It's on the post of the battery, and the black lead to the terminal. Now that will measure any voltage drop between those 2 points. So that's how you do it. If they were reversed, it would just give a negative reading on the meter. It's not that big a deal. And the black lead is going to go onto the cable terminal. So now the leads are between the between any corrosion between the battery clamp and the battery. And then we have to draw about 80 amps. So if you could watch this. There's 80. Now only for a few seconds, and we have no reading at all on the meter, meaning there's no corrosion in that terminal. Okay, so we could test the other one the same way. Of course, the black lead would go in the middle of the post, and the red lead would go to the clamp. Like this. The next test we're going to do is the starter solenoid, and this is a fender mounted, a wheel well mounted Ford starter relay. And we're going to go from one side of the relay, or the input terminal, to the output terminal that goes down to the starter. And we've disabled the ignition, and we're not using this, we're just using the actual starter so we can operate the solenoid. So I've got my assistant in there, and as soon as I get this connected, again, the positive would go to the outlet that goes to the battery, or the outlet goes to the starter, but the terminal that goes to the battery. So we would have to determine that. There it is there. The terminals with the nuts on them that I have the leads on, the one with the red lead, it goes right to the battery, and the one with the black lead goes right to the starter. So the most positive is the one near the bottom of the picture that I got the red lead on. So I got a voltage reading on that one, so that must be the battery. We're getting a voltage reading now because the negative lead is grounding through the starter, but as soon as we operate the starter, it will be a pure voltage drop. Okay, turn it over for about 3 seconds. Can you go about 3 times longer, please? If you look carefully there, you can see 0.26, and that's about a 1/4 volt drop across those contacts. Okay, so we got a voltage drop of 0.24-ish in there, about a 1/4 volt drop between one side of the contacts and the other, which tells us there's a slight bit of corrosion or dirt in the relay. But that's fairly normal. It's in a fairly severe environment, and there's still plenty of voltage to operate the starter motor. So when you're finished, you can turn the meter off and put it away. Thank you very much.